They've prepared for this very moment, taking it all in. Strategies planned, adjustments made, belts are fastened. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get racing.
I finally know why I can't get an answer. I finally know why I feel like a number. They keep a secret into their mind. They never document for telling lies. Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can find a place.
What happened to Mordog? Did he run out of fuel? Looks like, guys, he ran out of fuel. Just making moves all over the place. The 48 tries to dive down low. Here comes Lucky Dog. He's going to let him know I am here and I am not happy. 38 is out of gas. Robots under the apex.
I finally know why they don't speak louder. There is a secret that won't be mine. They never talk until the
Slide into the turn. These guys are battling it out.
Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can find a place.
Checkered flag is waving. We have a winner here tonight.
World of things I never knew. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AKA's Cup Series Round 8 here at Martinsville Speedway. We're under the lights tonight as these drivers take on the half mile of mayhem, where they will be challenged with slippery exits and ever-changing challenges. We also have a special guest in the booth tonight as J-Mac is out on track. So joining me tonight in the booth, we have Atlanta Racing. Atlanta, I'm so glad to have you in the booth. Welcome tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Frozen. Glad to be here. Finally getting to
Absolutely.
see these drivers race on a Sunday.
It's going to be very, very cool. But before we head to the track at Martinsville, we do need to welcome tonight's driver spotlight. So let's give a warm welcome to our driver spotlight, Tom Flitty, who pilots the number 8. He is 8 in points with 194 points. Welcome to the booth, Tom. How you doing tonight?
Good, guys. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know you've had a busy
Doing good.
weekend.
Oh, yeah. Just drove 500 miles, so I'm ready for another 250 laps here at Martinsville.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So it's going to be a busy day, and tonight like I said, we are headed under the lights. So let's go ahead and get started with your question. The first one, Tom Skibowski from last week says, if you had a chance to put a clear coat on the front of your car, would you use that to rub up against Ski at Talladega?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Whatever makes the car go faster, I guess.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, the second one. We've seen a ton of speed from you in these past few races. What, in your opinion, has been the contributing factor to that?
Definitely want to minimize your mistakes, not speed on pit road. I found out that actually kind of helps your finishing position. Things of that nature. Just putting in a little bit more time, because honestly, the transition over to this new game has kind of been a struggle for a lot of people, including myself, because it's just so different. So just spending as much time as you can on the track and getting acquainted to this new game.
Right. Absolutely. And we all know the paperclip. It has its challenges. So how do you prepare for that as you head into the track tonight?
Well, like I said, another thing, you got to do with one of these short tracks is just practice, practice, practice. You definitely want to make sure that you got good short run speed, but more importantly, I think the long run is going to be most important, because a lot of those guys are wearing out their right rear, getting really loose after about 10, 15 laps. So just want to kind of conserve as much tire as you can and try to get as good gas mileage as possible, because just like last week, these races come down to gas mileage more often than not.
It's so true. And, there's a lot of laps that you guys can get in on the tires here. So you really, really have to save. And from what I'm understanding, there's pretty much a good variety of how long some of these drivers can last tonight. So I don't want to give away secrets, but do you know how long you can last on a tire run tonight? Because it's more about that than fuel.
Honestly, I keep spinning out, so we're gonna try to not do that.
Right.
I haven't had that much time to practice, so it'll be interesting to see what
Absolutely.
happens.
Well, I wish you luck out there because Martinsville is a tricky track. Yeah, it's very challenging. All right, Tom, what's something we don't know about you?
I actually just bought a house.
Oh.
It was a foreclosure, but we got
Crazy.
it. Got it for a good deal, so gonna try to flip it and make a little bit of money off of it, and hopefully that works out.
Nice. Very cool. Have you done that before? Or is this the first time you have went about this kind of adventure?
No, it's the first time, so it's definitely gonna be a learning experience, that's for sure.
Absolutely. That's cool, though. You have to let me know what happens with it. I've never done it. I've always wanted to do it, but that's pretty scary stuff right there if you're for the first time.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. You just gotta go in with a positive attitude.
Definitely. Absolutely. All right, Tom, we're going to let you go after this final question, but I have to ask, what is your question for Rocky Top and MDL next week?
All right, so next year the season-ending race is going to be switched over to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what track they would like to see in the future to be the last race.
Oh, nice. I like that question. All right, you guys heard it here from Tom Flitty. He's been out of town a lot this weekend, just got back tonight, so I wish you a ton of luck, and I hope you do really well. We're in for a fantastic race here tonight. I'm very excited, but good luck to you, Tom, and thanks for joining us in the booth tonight.
Thanks, you guys. It's going to be exciting for sure. Enjoy the race.
Absolutely. All right, Atlanta, we have more going on here. You haven't heard him yet, but you're about to. Tonight we have a special guest in the booth. He is the community manager for 704 Games and NASCAR Heat. He's also an analyst for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. Y'all know who he is. The one, the only, Zane the Bearded One. Welcome to the booth, Zane. How are you doing?
How's it going, Zane?
That is one hell of an intro, but this booth is even awesome. There's a beanbag chair, there's a lava lamp. You can't see it, but Atlanta's got a black light with J-Mac's picture on it. It looks great.
I'm jealous, man. That's awesome.
That would
Oh
be
my
awesome.
goodness. Yeah. Zane, I got to ask you a tough question to start off. I know I said no tough questions, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But as a lot of people want to know, can we expect any more big updates from 704 in the coming weeks, such as, wink, wink, spectator mode? We need the tool, Zane.
Zane.
I don't have anything on that, but I can say expect updates coming out. We're just not ready to talk about them, but there are things that we're
Fair
working
enough.
on that we're excited to start sharing in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to see it. I absolutely love this game so far, and it has been quite the change. We've talked about tire wear so much, and it is really cool to see how that is kind of rounding out and how you have to, change your driving and change the line. I mean, you guys really nailed it this year, so it's really cool to see that. All right. What
That
has been...
That
go
really
ahead.
comes down to, oh, sorry. I was just going to say that comes down to Sean Wilson and his team and the developers and then the teams from NASCAR really leaning in and giving us that information to make the game almost, one-to-one scale of that tire wear, more realistic on that tire wear than what we're used to in the previous games.
Yeah, that's
That
cool.
was more of a
and-
statement. I'm sorry. I thought it was a question, Frozen.
No, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but yeah, I mean, added what they're working with the teams and having input from actual NASCAR. I mean, it's really awesome to be able to do all that and have that input and make it even more realistic for each game going through. So, man, it's such a huge jump. This is the biggest jump, in my opinion, that I've seen from the last to the next game. So it's pretty awesome to see. But Zane, I gotta ask you, what has been your favorite part of being involved with the esports?
drivers. I'm gonna be completely honest. I like my 28 kids.
Aw.
The TV stuff is cool, getting to meet other NASCAR drivers, but really it's growing this league and seeing these guys
Yeah.
mature and grow from what we all were in November during the qualifiers to the exhibition races, which were like the combine for your draftees, to where they are now, 2 races away from a championship. It's a huge growth in just them and maturity and driving that a lot of people don't get to see on the backside.
Absolutely. I mean, these drivers have grown not only as people and as a team, really. I mean, they may be competitors, but really, I mean, the camaraderie that these guys have, it's really amazing to see. And the stories that they come back with through this entire experience, it's just really cool to see that, and the positivity that comes out of it. I mean, yeah, they may bicker and stuff goes on track, but once that is over with, these guys are so cool with each other, and I just love to see that.
You're in that holler, you know all too well about the bickering and the arguing.
I do. I've seen it. I've seen it all just like you, but it's really cool to see how they've grown, like you said. And Zane, we've all seen you grow from being a racer in the NASCAR community to now being able to help improve games and being the face of eNASCAR Heat Pro League. So how has that change been for you?
I never thought being a nerd from Texas, loving NASCAR and racing and running leagues and calling iRacing races, that I would be doing what I'm doing now. My goal was always, as a gamer, was to make the best damn NASCAR game I could and make the best like esport and like community. Still the same, but like I just moved from Texas to Charlotte, but I'm still me, which is weird because you're dealing with like I still get starstruck, and it's weird. Like Brad Keselowski. Oh my God, that's Brad Keselowski. I hate him on the track. He's my rival. Hi, sir. Nice to meet you. You're a really nice guy. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
I would totally
But,
be
like, it's just
starstruck.
that adventure and growth and just kind of seeing this go from, a concept that we all wanted to happen as guys who played this game and being part of it, and as a guy who didn't make it and going, I want to see this succeed. It's just, I don't know. It's amazing. It's humbling. It's so many different things I can't put into words except for rambling.
And I can't, I can't say enough how much you have done for these guys and help grow the community. You're so, you have such a charisma and such a passion about you that it's very catching, and just the positivity that you put out there, it just really helps grow the community, and it's really cool to be a part of it. So thank you for that. I have to say, 704 is very lucky to have you. I have to say that.
Can you clip that and send that to my mom? I think it's the first. No, I'm kidding. But thank you. Like my thing has always been the community, number one. Like without us as NASCAR fans and girls and guys, ladies and gentlemen who want to watch on Sunday and then recreate that night and then through the week. Like that's a lot of us who play these games in some way, shape, or form. When we were kids, said, you know what, I want to be a NASCAR driver.
Yeah.
Like it gives us the ability to live our fantasies and be the things that we want. Some guys want to be, the quarterback of a football team. We want to be the Daytona 500 winner. So it's one of those things of taking that mentality and embracing that and bringing that from the community into this inside. And it's like, that's what we all are. We're all gamers and NASCAR fans on the core level, and I love it that we can just sit down and have a conversation about, man, like the car's pushing real bad, but dude, you're bad fast on that outside. Like it's so much fun. It's just to talk, and then you get into the old nostalgia conversations of racing. So it's just, I love this community, and it's just, I love racing. It's like if it's my two loves put together, I couldn't ask for a better thing. Like when I got this job, I looked up in heaven and said, Dale Earnhardt Sr., thank you, sir. Because like I'm not kidding. I asked the ghost of Dale Earnhardt to help me get this job when the job came about, and because it was video games and NASCAR, and who could ask for a better combination?
I mean, it's really amazing. And for you to be able to go through this experience with the drivers, meet, like you said, all these drivers in real life, and David Hoots and all this stuff, it's just insane. So you gotta love it. But I gotta ask too, for those interested in joining next season for the eNASCAR Pro League, what tips can you give them to better their chances on making it?
Oh man, that's such a loaded question. Wow, I should have asked
is.
you for questions beforehand. Really, it's about being, who you are, creating, not just creating content, but being a good driver, being smart about how you set your car up, how you drive. Keep in mind, perception is the key. Like, if you're a dirty driver in the community, who's going to want to race with you, like in reality? But it's also knowing like how to set that car up, how to talk to people, how to communicate, but also being fast on track. It's on track and off track. Like, you got to keep that in mind. Like, you have to balance those two things. It's not always being about being the best driver on track. Sometimes it's also being about the best driver and also being a good human being. And I know it's a weird thing to say, but you got to balance the two, because sometimes you can be a really fast guy, but if you're a jerk to someone, they may not want to race with you or even have you race with them. I've seen guys be removed from leagues, and this is just in general. Like, if you're out there saying, man, lobbies are hard to race with, there's a lot of guys who just wreck, go find a group of guys, go find a league. And it's the same thing. If you're a horrible person, they're probably not going to want to race with you. But if you're genuinely a nice guy or a nerdy guy and you have fun and you don't take it too seriously, but you're competitive, you're going to make a lot of friends, and you're going to join more leagues. You're going to race more often than you're not. And that's really what it is about being successful. Like, the guys from AKA here, the pro league guys race in this league with them, and some of the pro league guys came from this league. So it gives you a kind of an insight of like the competition level and just the skill level, but also the personalities and how to work with other people. So just keep that in mind. Like, balance the two, but be good on track, but be good off track. Don't be a jerk. That's the Wheaton's Law. Go look it up. I can't say the phrase, because I'll probably get yelled at by Frozen, but go Google Wheaton's Law, and you'll understand what I mean about like the keys to success. But honestly, it's both sides. Like, it's such a loaded question, and I'm rambling again, but it's really be good off track, be good on track, be a good human being. PLP, peace, love, and positivity. God dang it, Frozen.
I know, Zane. I'm sorry. And Jacob Kerr says Zane is the best driver from 704. We have a lot of guys out here showing Zane a lot of love, so much appreciated.
Oh, thanks, guys.
All right, and
less than 3 hearts.
So many hearts. I have one last question for you, Zane, and it is probably the most serious question I have for you. And I'm sorry, it's so serious. The question we all need to know is, what products do you use in that beautiful beard of yours?
That's all natural.
Very nice.
It's all
nothing
natural.
in there.
I wake up in the morning, wash my face, but I don't put any oils in it. I trim it with scissors than a razor or anything like that. Never use a straight razor on your beard because it makes it like hard and stubbly. But if you trim it with like scissors and stuff, it makes it nice and soft. But this is a baby beard compared to my epic beard. I may have to go find the epic beard picture and put it on Twitter one day for you.
I mean, I think I've seen a picture of you with the long beard. So yes, this is like
I got one. I used to have it down to my chest. Like, it was my playoff Diablo 3 beard. I didn't shave through the entire last pit of development through Diablo 3, and then I just kept it. I was like, man, this is a great beard. I'm just keeping it, and I rocked it for about 8 years. And then I actually shaved it, trimmed it before I got this job. So yeah, fun fact.
That is so cool, Zane. I'll have to remember that for my beard if I ever grow one for some odd reason.
Hey, Halloween's right around the corner. You never know.
That's true. That is true. But you guys heard it from Zane. This guy is amazing. He is the community manager for 704 and very highly involved in the esports. You can see him every 2 weeks for the Esports Pro League on Wednesday nights. These guys, where are you guys headed to next, Zane? Let everybody know.
It is the penultimate. I don't know how they
Penultimate?
pronounce it. It's the second to last race before the. God dang! I love your grammar. And your pronunciation is spot on. So yes, it is at Homestead in Miami. It's the second to final race. We're going from 6 to the final 4 that will race from the championship after this race. It is a 5-point battle right now between 2nd and 6th. So it is going to be a great race on Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern on Twitch at 704 NASCAR Heat, and on our Facebook on NASCAR Heat. So definitely check it out. But one thing, I have 2 things I have to do. One is a statement, one is a question. Sure. My statement is always give us your feedback. I love it. I read it. I enjoy it. I embrace it. So keep it coming. Let us know what you want, what you don't like. But also be constructive and give us, if you got examples, please. We love examples. Videos are the best. because I can get that directly over to the development team. If I don't respond right away, don't be discouraged, because I probably saw it. I just didn't get to say nothing to you. But please keep the feedback coming in. I love it, and it's the only way we're going to make this game better is by the feedback and talking with the community. So you guys are amazing for doing that all year long, every day, all day. My question for you, though, because you've been asking everyone questions, I want to turn the tables on you.
I know.
And I didn't even prep you for it.
No, you didn't.
What is your favorite? No, hold on. It's easy. What is your favorite comfort food?
My favorite comfort food. I would have to say, God, I'm so weird. The first thing that comes to mind is mac and cheese, like a really good homemade cheesy mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. Bam. Perfect meal right there.
All right, there you go. Home
That's
cooking.
awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail this conversation, but it's like you were asking
was the
questions.
most
I had to
random
shoot one
question.
back.
So Zane, what
That's
is
the point,
yours? I
right?
have to ask.
Oh man, so it really depends on like cheesy spaghetti. Like cheesy chicken spaghetti is what my mom used to make when I was a kid.
Whoa,
So anytime I
yeah.
get homesick, I try to recreate that.
Aw.
But the other one, and it sounds really dumb, and it's gonna sound like a fat kid of me, but every now and then, probably like once every like 3 months, I'll go get like a double cheeseburger from McDonald's,
Oh,
and just
man.
that one bite, I'm just like, oh, this
Why are
is
you
so
trying to make me
good.
drool? Now I'm so hungry.
And then after I eat it, I regret it after eating it. But yeah,
Of course,
those
of
are
course.
the like cheesy spaghetti that my mom used to make, and then a double cheeseburger.
That is amazing. Yeah,
Nice.
you know, burgers are always nice, but yeah, this is it, guys. Zane is here in the booth. Amazing interview with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be in here with us tonight. It was so much fun.
Thank you, Zane.
Hey, not a problem.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me here, and thanks for letting me hang out with the AKA guys, where where the Xbox guys play. So I appreciate it.
Of course.
You guys have a great race, and enjoy the paperclip tonight under the lights.
Will do. You take it easy, Zane, and yeah, it's
Have
going
a
to be
good
an
night.
exciting race tonight.
Yep. Like, subscribe, follow. Like, subscribe, follow. Bye, Frozen. Have a great one.
Bye, Zane. Take it easy.
What an outro.
You heard it from Zane. Yeah, there he goes. We have J-Mac. He is going to be our pit reporter tonight. So, and we have so many new things. We have Zane in the booth. We have Atlanta Racing here tonight. Very excited for that. This will be the first time we are in.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're in the booth. So, what do you think we can expect from these drivers tonight, Atlanta? Do you know much about Martinsville here?
I do not know too much about Martinsville. I know a lot about the drivers. I've seen the Bolt this season. I saw him last race especially. You know, he got up to the top of the pack and then fell back and then got back up to the top of the pack. But, you know, I've been watching him a lot. Talked to JRM Dohar. I haven't seen him race too much, but he is a good guy. A lot of these guys I've just talked to. Maybe I've announced them before.
Right.
But back in NASCAR Heat 3, it was so hard to see exactly who you were looking at. I would be looking at, you know, a number 9, and I'd say it was somebody, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's not me. That's so-and-so." So, but yeah. But, you know.
It's definitely going to be cool. I think the lap times you guys can expect here tonight is going to be around 18.8. You're going to see Tedeschi, Sterlu, some of these guys driving those. But on the high side of that, we're going to see guys going in from a 19.2. Fuel run can be anywhere from 48 to 53 laps, and with a stage at 63. A lot of these guys are going to have to pit. Well, actually, pretty much everybody's going to have to pit at least once in stage 1 and 2, and then you're going to see a couple of pit stop in the final stage because it's 124 laps. I'm getting an invite to go in, so man, this worked out perfect tonight. Let me know if you need an invite, Atlanta.
Yes, please send me one
I will
when you
send
get
you
in.
one. All right, here you go. But we are going under the lights from Martinsville Speedway, going for the night race. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We have Atlanta Racing in here tonight with us, J-Mac in the booth. Hopefully we don't need to use J-Mac too much, but here we go. We're getting ready to take a look at these drivers. 21 cars in the field. Absolutely amazing. We have JRM Dohar. He is on pole with Tedeschi on the outside, and they are off already. Tedeschi just diving it down low underneath, and he is already getting a move on these guys and putting a huge gap. I mean, look at this. We have Dohart directly behind him, but man, oh man, looking pretty good so far out here. What are you looking at there,
I
Atlanta?
am still loading.
Oh, you're still
I am
loading.
looking at a loading screen. That's what I'm looking at.
We'll get you
I'm
in
loading
here.
it right now. Here we go. There we go.
We got Dohart.
So
He's
J.R.
still in
Dohart,
second.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking. Looks like Tedeschi in the 22 has gotten up in the first place. Oh, a little push right there at the 88. It looks like he didn't get onto the brakes fast enough. 8 on the inside right now. And 22. Come on. TomTom. Oh, TomTom has gotten into second place.
Yeah,
If Tom-
TomTom
Now, I'm
was
not-
he was our driver spotlight tonight, and he has found his way into second with Tedeschi just moving. And we saw it. We said it tonight. He's going to be super fast, and he has already found his way out to the front and putting a little bit of a gap. But these guys are looking pretty good. As I'm seeing AKA TAC 24, he looks like he is currently in 5th place. Pretty good for Martinsville here tonight. He seems to be one that is improving week by week.
Yeah, that's one thing you see with a lot of these drivers. You know, they sit there and they haven't practiced maybe one of these tracks as enough as they should have, and they'll start practicing a lot and just get super good in the course of a couple days practicing that one track. That's what I've seen with a lot of drivers in a lot of leagues. They'll go from saying they can't take a turn to being in first place every time.
Absolutely. And you can see how far these guys are getting spread out already. Tedeschi, he has his car under control, and it's really showing. He is shining tonight, and this guy is fast everywhere, but I really feel tonight we're going to see him lap some guys, and so we're going to have to keep an eye out on him and how he gets affected by lap traffic. He's just already on the move, but we're back on board with TomTom, who is in second place at the moment. A couple of guys he's got a gap on directly behind him, and let's see if we can take a look at who that is. We go back to TAC 24. These guys, a single file for the most part. To pass is going to be very interesting. They're going to have to get a nice run, Atlanta.
Yeah, that's how it is at these shorter tracks. You know, you just don't have the length in those front and back straightaways to get a good pass, so you really have to time it out into the turns and just beat the driver in a term of racing and not speed.
Absolutely. We're taking a look at Sturlu. He is in that 34 car at the moment. He's another one that we're going to have to look out for. What I'm interested, guys, this may be all great right now for the short run, but we got to look out for the long run. We see Tedeschi just putting so much time on these guys, but the long run is what we need to look out for. These guys can go anywhere up to 53 laps. And after that, I mean, you are just getting so loose once you reach those laps. So they're going to have to make sure that the wear is okay, that they're not too loose, that they're not going to lose that grip coming off of the turns. So we're going to see a lot of guys that are going to be a little bit more tight on that short run than they want to be, but it's going to help them in the long run.
Oh, there's a car spun out, it looks like. Turn 3.
Car spun out. That is the number 2, and that should be Ramsett. I'm not sure that's going to bring out a caution. That is only one car, so they should be good to go. But like I said, you're getting loose off those corners, and obviously something happened to Ramsett. He was into the wall, but man, oh man. Atlanta, where is Tedeschi in that 22?
I am looking for him right now, trying to. There he is. He's right there in the 22.
He's already hitting left traffic.
Yeah, it looks like he is already. I was going to say earlier, I was watching the screen and it seemed like a car was coming into play as soon as it would show the 22, and it looks like he is right now lapping the 51 on the outside.
Yeah, we've gone, I believe, 15 laps from what I'm hearing over the radio. We'll see if we can get a confirmation on that, but 63 total for stage 1. Very interesting. I do want to take a break and say hello to everyone in chat right now. I appreciate you guys showing up. We had such an amazing interviews tonight and such a fun race, but man, Atlanta Tedeschi has his... He's pretty busy right now with all these cars that he's getting ready to lap.
He really is, and I really didn't realize it until the first time I went to Bristol Motor Speedway is how fast these drivers start lapping each other because there's just not enough room on the track for all of them to get where they need to go. So it's interesting to see it come into play. Also with the tire wear, it's a nighttime race, so they're not going to have to worry about the heat as much on the tires. And that is something that you don't usually have to worry about, is not the tires. But these night races with the cool down tracks, it really helps.
Absolutely. And this is a track where you do not want to use a ton of brakes. Let that thing roll in and get on the gas gently coming out. And Tedeschi, being behind these lap cars right now, is going to be very interesting. Will people behind him be able to catch up? We have Tom Flitty, who is possibly catching up a little bit. He's pretty far up there, but I think the lap traffic is starting to move through Tedeschi. Tedeschi seems to be getting through okay. But now the rest of these guys, we have Tom that has to go through it, and we have Sturlu, and we have a big wreck, 34. Let's see if anyone else is involved. It looks like he may be the only one. I thought that was going to capture a few guys, but it looks like he's so far good to go.
Oh. One thing Tom was saying earlier is how a lot of drivers have had a hard time adjusting to this game. I think part of that is just how realistic they've tried to make it in terms of pitting and the tires and what you need, and as far as the draft, it really, has gotten so much better in NASCAR Heat 4. I'm sorry, 22 and 00 with a little contact on the front straightaway.
Absolutely. You see Pro Boss, who Tedeschi was just working around. A lot of guys I just saw, possibly Tom Back there, hit the wall a little bit, but Tedeschi is just on the move, and he is obviously going to be the car to beat here tonight. He was running 19.8s, so I think 18.8s or 19.8s, but man, he was moving through the field and is still working on these guys, so doing a great job. It looks like he might be a little clear for just a little bit, but you see 3 cars ahead, so he's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 22, just how, I'm not even sure. I don't even know if I could race a race like this, because sometimes even just when we're watching, I get confused on what driver is where, because these cars get so jumbled up on these short tracks. It's insane. Watching the 22 right here next to the 71, I mean, if he's not going to get, you're not going to let him by, it looks like Tedeschi's just going to bump and run like he did to the 00. 71's smart. He let him in.
Absolutely. He went to the high side, let Tedeschi go down low and take the line. But you see, he's got that damage on. These guys do have damage on. And so if Tedeschi runs behind somebody that is a lap down and they have a different braking zone than Tedeschi does, he can incur a ton of damage, which will slow him down. So these guys really have to be gentle with where they brake and how close do they get to each other. If they get that damage, it's really going to slow them down.
Yeah, you could just, as soon as you said that, I heard a little contact coming out of turn 2 right in front of Tedeschi. I think that was a 42, and not too sure what the other car, 48.
Yeah, the 42,
Yeah,
and we have...
You do not.
Yeah, you do have to watch it. You see the 22 leaning on the 42 there, but he's doing a great job so far, just trying to hug it down on that bottom line. A lot of these other guys are taking a higher side just to save the tires. It's going to be a little bit less loose up there. So we're going to see a lot of different lines tonight, but man, he is really just flying through the field.
He really is. Amazing how fast he can get past some of these guys. But the thing is people in front of him start getting slowed down from lap traffic too, because it's just a chain reaction through the field. And so he may stomp on his brakes or somebody in front of him, and he'll eventually fill it again, pretty much up in the pack with these cars trying to cut on the outside and the inside, let 22 get by.
Absolutely. We're taking a look on board with Tom Flitty, who is currently in 2nd place. He's got a strong car tonight. This is from a guy who was out of town all weekend, just got back tonight. Doing a pretty good job as he's catching up to the 00 of Boss. I know this is not one of Boss's favorite tracks, and he is doing all right hanging in there, but the 8, he's got a little bit to go to catch up to Tedeschi. Tedeschi is gone, so all TomTom can do right now is just protect his second place position, hang in there until pit road, get his adjustments in that he needs to do if he needs to do it.
Yep, and Tedeschi is heading down pit road right now. It looks like he's the only car to do so. Oh,
Yeah.
there's somebody else in front of him. Oh, there is one other car in pit road. Let me go see who that is. It's going to be AKA Johnny Rocket, it looks like, in the 51.
All right, we do have Tedeschi on pit road. We have TomTom Flitty in second, who, as actually, he's no longer second. He comes out as your leader as Tedeschi went in. We have TAC 24, who I'm assuming is in third since our camera's taking us there. So he should be in third place in that 37. We heard from him a couple of weeks ago on in the booth. This is a guy who I feel is improving week after week, and you can see his line right there. Slow and steady wins the race here. You have to make sure you hold it steady, and we have TAC coming on the track on to pit road. Also TomTom Flitty, so we're having a first round of pit stops.
Now, Frozen, 99 wrecking again. I was just about to say out of turn 4. Delta Rocket had some issue earlier I did not see, but the front of his car is pretty tangled up right now. He is stuck, it looks like, on turn 4. He's taking the inside line. He might be taking a trip to pit lane. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I was looking at his car. That thing is crumbled up. Johnny Rocket, from what I'm hearing, he has pulled it in the garage, called it quits for the night, damaged too much. 22 made it past him, no problem. But man, you guys saw it on screen. That was a close one. Tedeschi, he is out on the run, trying to get around the 71, who's got a lot of damage. He's holding him up just a little bit. Tedeschi not holding back, pushing him out of the way just a little bit, and he is on his way.
It's amazing. I honestly, when I see the cars on these tracks, even on the speedway sometimes, just push and let that car go to the side, it just reminds me of Dale Earnhardt and just get out of my way.
You see the 51 and the 24 fighting it out right there. That is 51 of Johnny Rocket and the 24 of Jose getting shoved into the wall. Very, very close. We thought Johnny Rocket called it quits, but he is out there on the road. 99 was actually Delta Rocket, so that was Delta Rocket who has since left the race. You see the 9 car. That is String coming out. Looks like a pit road. So these guys are on the move here.
Yeah, 99 is taking it on the outside. I think he might have got into a little altercation with Ramset 1. His front hood is a little bit bumped up. It looks like he could have just ran right into him or something happened. I'm not too sure. But when I had cut back to the driver, Ramset was kind of wiggling around the sides too. So I'm not too sure if those two drivers had something going on.
Yeah, I'm on board with TomTom Flitty. He's got a little front damage there, so we're going to see if that affects him. But he seems to be okay so far. But from what I'm hearing over the radio, Atlanta, we have a couple of guys not so happy with Ramset. So we'll see how it goes for him. But yeah, some altercations with these guys, a little bit of collisions, a lot of one-car incidents, but no caution so far here tonight.
And that's odd that it's been a lot of one-car incidents here in Martinsville, because usually at these kind of tracks, you get piled up big time. And sometimes we've seen in the past it in the race, but the super speedways is where you'll see a lot of just a single car hits into the wall. I mean, they do have their big ones, but it is rare to just see a lot of single car accidents at a short speedway like this.
It depends on what kind of group you have, but I'm expecting that we are going to have a lot of one-car incidents. I'm not expecting a lot of cautions tonight, simply because this is one of those tracks that if it's your track, you're really going to nail it, and you're going to shine throughout the other guys, and you're going to put a lot of gap. That's what we're seeing tonight. A lot of these guys have a lot of gaps. The slower guys are going to take it up higher. The faster guys are going to stay down low and just, fly on by. We're seeing some guy, man, he was getting loose coming off of the turn.
Oh, there's a caution.
And here we go with the caution. Let's see if we
You
can.
know, it's funny. Earlier,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just
No,
going
go
to say,
ahead,
let's see
sorry.
if we can get a lap count tonight. I'm not sure what the lap count is right now, but Morningstar says that dude is moving, and he absolutely is. And it is 21 laps till the end of stage 1.
You know, it's earlier I was joking around comparing music to NASCAR, but there are a lot of similarities to music in NASCAR, especially with the muscle memory these drivers have to have. If you can key down that muscle right where to push the gas, and if you need to brake it all right where to do it, you can really earn these tracks and get your first place position.
It's true. It's very true. Look at this. We have Dohar coming out. He will start us off with the green
Yep.
flag here. We have the 24. That is Jose. We saw him get in a little incident earlier, but he is out there on the high side. We have Dohar jumping off of the start with a nice little lead there. We'll see if he can hold on to that. We haven't seen too much of him tonight so far, but man, this is Martinsville. It is a small track and a lot of cars, so these guys are back together once again.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching this stream right now, you can head on over to the AKA merch store if you want to get your own hoodie, tee, or cap. The link is in Frozen Toes description. Or
Absolutely.
it's in the chat. Yeah.
We got you.
He sent
We
me a
gotcha.
picture. Boss sent me a picture the other day, and I was like, man, that is a good looking hoodie.
They do. They have some good looking merchandise out there, so make sure you go ahead and grab yourself one if you can. I want to take a look at the points, though. This is the points so far this season. You can see Tedeschi out there with a nice little lead. That is definitely going to help him out moving forward. We have Dohar, who is currently in second place. Jose in third. Bolt in fourth after a one-race suspension there. And Probos, he's going to round out your top 5.
Now, the Bolt suspension, didn't he... I wasn't watching that race, but did he get into somebody or something?
You know, there was a couple of incidents a couple of races ago, and a couple of not dirty drivers, but some dirty moves done by drivers, and I guess it was determined
Gotcha.
that with the amount that was going on, that he would get suspended for one race. But he came back and immediately won, which definitely helped the padding on
Wow.
the points. Moved him back up a
Yeah.
little bit, but yeah, missing that one race obviously hurt him. And from my understanding, he wasn't supposed to be here tonight. He was at Dover today. So to see him running out here tonight, I see his name up there, so he must be out there. So to see his name out there,
Yep.
it's pretty good to see.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how far he lives away from the track. I was at that Atlanta United game, and man, I had to make sure I didn't scream too much or anything, making sure my voice was good for tonight. Because man, the fans in that stadium go insane.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to be out there. That's amazing. Let's take a look. We have Dohar. I want to take a look. It won't let me go out there. But speaking of the Bolt, the camera took him there, so since we talked about him, let's take a look at him. He is out there right next to the 9 of string and a couple of cars with him. I'm not sure what position he is in right now. I can't see the cars in front of him, but he is out there. It looks like probably around 5th or 6th place. So he's doing pretty good out there tonight so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back right now at Tedeschi. He is packed up with the 41 and the 8 car. A lot of 3-packs going on, it seems.
Absolutely.
Try to move them up one at a time.
Atlanta, I don't know if you saw it, but we had the 99. He was in the wall again. That is Delta Rocket. Not a good night for him.
Oh, man, yep.
Yeah, we've seen him a couple of times, and he had a ton of damage on the hood of his car. Is obviously going to have to go in, but we are hitting 5 to go for stage 1. If Dohar can hold him off, that is going to be a ton of stage points for him. It's going to help him out in the point standings, but we'll see if he can hold on to it. We have a couple of guys going in to pit road, but Jose making his way up through there, and that 24 second place for stage points would be absolutely amazing for him also. A strong showing for him.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out right now if Skibowski has called it quits or if he is pitting. Oh, nope, he is pitting. He had a bunch of damage to the front of his hood. It doesn't even look like he got it repaired. He's coming out of pit lane right now.
We're up to 3 to go as we have a couple of guys coming off of pit road. You see Jose back there, but Dohar, seems like if you can get the jump off of the start, you're going to be golden. So this race is kind of turned around. We had Tedeschi leading the first part of the race, but the final parts of stage 1, Dohar is so far leading. It looks like Jose is trying to catch up, but man, a couple of guys hanging out there down by pit road.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like somebody's parked in the middle of the entrance to pit lane and the on to the straightaway right there. And then when I was looking back earlier, I was trying to figure out if what was that, Skibowski?
Dohar gets wrecked. That is going to make him lose the lead, I do believe, as this is the final lap. I want to try to get back to the leader here, but it is not letting me. Jose is your new leader here. That is the end of stage 1. Absolutely incredible stage 1.
You got to know those drivers get frustrated when they've led so many laps in a race and then they get wrecked out on that last lap before the end of the stage. I mean,
yeah,
it can really mess with your head when it comes to the rest of the race. You just got to keep it steady and going.
You know, Dohar has to be extremely frustrated. He was almost around that turn and past the start-finish line, but Jose was able to capitalize on that and take home a stage win with a ton of bonus points there. So we have Jose, Tedeschi, Dohar, man. J-Mac and Doc, they took home the final 2 spots for top 5 for the stage points there, but rough time for Dohar on that.
Man.
Tyler DeBoss says, how do you get in this Cup Series? You got to work your way up there. I would message AKA Pro Boss on Xbox. You can probably start off in the Truck Series. He'll hang out with you, do a couple of laps with you, and if you can, get a spot in the Truck Series. Work your way up to Xfinity and hopefully Cup soon.
Yep. And that was, can't remember who was having some frustration. He was talking about, this is nothing to pertain to the actual race right now, but in real NASCAR, some of the younger drivers not going all the way up through all the series, and they just really don't know how to take these cars and all the power they have seriously, and they start wrecking. Here we go. It's going to be green flag for stage 2.
Here we go, stage 2. Jose is going to be the leader off of this. We have the 3 of Blue Baca. It's either Blue Baca or J-Mac. We have 2 cars in the 3. So we'll see who that is, but these guys battling it out side by side for the start of it. We have J-Mac. He is the one on the front row.
Yeah, AKA Pro Boss. Looks like he got into a little altercation, falling to the back of the pack in the 00 car. Not too sure if something happened with the 32 and the 42 right next to him, but I saw him trying to recover, get back on the track when I cut to him.
Look at this, you guys. We have the 41. That is Doc 88. He takes over the lead, kind of pushes Jose out of the way, which then pushes J-Mac out of the way. 3 wide. We have Tedeschi on the bottom, Jose in the middle, Doc on the top. Incredible for Martinsville. I mean, you gotta love this type of racing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and 22 in the lead now. He has got it back again. It's gonna be interesting to see if he lets any of the other cars pass him.
Absolutely. I mean, if you get Tedeschi back in the lead, that is not a good thing. These guys are gonna have to chase him down.
Yeah.
We're in car with Tom Flitty. He hit the wall coming out of the turn, but man, they're gonna have to do something to keep up with Tedeschi.
Yeah, especially with all the talk about how his car is just going to be so good tonight here at Martinsville. You know, there's probably a reason he is in first place. His car is running beautifully right now.
Absolutely. I mean, he's out there running 18.8s. A lot of these other guys could be anywhere from 19.0 to a 19.4. You can see the gap he's already putting on the field. They're going to have the work cut out for him, but I'll tell you what, second place is not letting him get away too terribly much, but he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, it's crazy. He really just seems to know how to take these turns almost perfectly here at Martinsville, because the way he is gaining on the drivers behind him, it's incredible.
We're taking a look at Turner.
I mean, you can see the speed right there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're good. You see Turner, he is in that 31 car. He's got the 34 directly underneath, and man, this is a crowd of cars as he makes some contact with the Bolt, puts him in the wall. Very, very close quarters right there. I mean, that is Martinsville Racing. We have Jose on the top. We have 34 on the bottom. 41 directly above Turner in that 31. He's making his way through the field right now.
Yeah, and did you say there was a little altercation with Tom earlier?
You know, I don't remember if there was or not with Tom. I mean, there's so much action going on here, and I'm trying to get my camera up through the field.
I know exactly what you mean, especially when you're asking Zane for those tools. And under my breath, I was like, please, Zane, please.
I had to ask. I know he can't say too terribly much, but if he can give us a hint, I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly. At least he's nice enough to, be like, hey, it's coming. There's something's coming.
Absolutely. It looks like we have the 8 of Tom Flitty. He is currently out in second place. Not sure if we can verify that, but Tedeschi, he is obviously out there in the lead, and he is just gone, guys. I mean, this guy is just so incredibly fast. 50 to go for Tedeschi as he crosses that line.
Yeah, I'm looking back right now on Tedeschi's car. You can only see the cars behind him right before he is going into the turn. So he almost is half a lap in front of some of these cars. He is starting to gain on the back cars, probably lapping some of them soon.
Absolutely. And we see Tom Flitty. I mean, these guys are a backstretch between them. That is how much this guy has gapped these guys. But 8 of Tom, extremely fast car tonight, and I think he was not wanting to jinx himself, because I'll tell you what, he's like, I don't know, I was out of town, and I'm not sure how fast my car is. This guy was being all sneaky tonight.
Hey, you gotta play it cool, keep it cool.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel if I get into a race and I feel like, oh, I'm gonna win this race. I usually do not win that race.
We're going to go back on Turner. Morningstar, give my boy Turner some airtime. I know. I love Turner. He's
Morningstar.
Turner's such a great guy and such a clean racer. So it's good to have him out here. He has not been full-time. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Boss if he is full-time now. I do believe he might be, but... he is out here running pretty good so far, and he was in a lot of traffic at the time, so he's making his way through there. You can see just how loose these cars can get. You really have to have a great long-run car, and that is the test of tonight. It's not how long you can make it on fuel, it's you gotta make those tires last.
Yep, and unfortunately, a lot of times on these shorter tracks, when you're going into that turn, if you cut it wrong, it'll just pull you down there like it's got an arm almost.
Absolutely. You see the 20 of Rocky Top. He is directly behind Blue Baca, but a little bit of contact. I know you saw it there. Contact with Ramsett as he was going into the wall. That was possibly Rocky Top that was going by him, but man, oh man. That was some tight racing right there as the 20 and Blue Baca in that 3 car making their way through.
Yep, 22 of Tedeschi. He is still in the lead right now, pushing cars aside as he goes. Very similar to the last stage. He has a great car tonight. He's starting to catch up, seems, to the 31, another lapped car. It's going to be interesting to see how many cars he can lap before the end of the stage.
He's got J-Mac directly in front of him, and he's going to dive underneath. J-Mac is going to let him go. He's on the move. We're watching J-Mac currently. But man, I know J-Mac, he's got a long run car where he wants it to be steady, wants to make sure that he can last as long as he can as we have 40 to go. So it's going to be crazy. That is 8th place that Tedeschi has lapped.
Wow.
That just
So he
goes
is
to
getting
show
up
you.
to the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is getting up to the cars, trying to catch him. They're looking out for Tedeschi, and he's saying, hey, I'm back here.
With every car that he passes, too, that is a ton of the field. I mean, he's already passed up to 8th place. So that is absolutely incredible. This guy is just on the move. Such a short track. I talked to him earlier, and he was saying that he actually put a couple of drivers a couple of laps down just in practice, and that is saying a lot. This is pretty tough. So with these stage breaks, it is really good to see that they can catch all these guys back up. If we did not have that, I think it would be a totally different story on the outcome of this race. So Tedeschi still got to work hard.
99 just wrecked. Oh, there's a big wreck. Turn 4, it looks like.
Oh, wow, that is going to bring out the caution. Yeah, here we go with the caution, guys. Delta Rocket just absolutely struggling with his car handling tonight, and I believe that is the 3rd or 4th incident we've seen from him on track.
Yep, you can really see how banged up some of these cars are from that. Look at the 3 right there, J Mac Attack. He has his front end all bumped up. A couple cars behind him have theirs all bumped up as well. Looks like 00 Pro Boss maybe have gotten into that too. It's a little bent.
A lot of these guys do have a damage. We just saw the Bolts with a lot of front end damage there. Tedeschi looks like one of the only cars without damage, and that is really going to help him out in the long run.
Wow.
Because if you do get that damage, it will slow you down up to 0.3 per lap. So that is not something that you want to see, especially at this type of track where obviously you're going to have a lot of lap cars. But here we go, green once again. We have Tedeschi obviously out front. This guy is just on the move. We have Tom Tom behind him. He's going to take that high side, the low line. We have a guy getting left out just a little bit. But another chance for these guys to hold on to Tedeschi.
Yeah, I heard a little contact. I'm not too sure what that was. It's so hard to tell sometimes what part of the pack it's actually coming from when you're viewing a certain driver.
Absolutely.
But on these short tracks, you know, you talk about losing, would you say, a third, 0.3 of a second a lap? These guys are going around the track every 18 seconds, so that really adds up.
Hey, you said it right there. It does, and it's not a track where you need the draft, but it is a track that you have to be consistent, and it takes so much mental capacity, mental concentration to do this, as we're hitting 30 to go, and that's in stage 2 already. These laps fly by, and if you make a mistake, if you get out of the groove of things, it's really going to hurt you in the long run. So you really have to pay attention to the line you're running, pay attention to the cars around you, but consistency is key tonight.
Now, I know this is something kind of weird, but I've noticed when you're watching a lot of these drivers and you're watching their eyes when they're driving, they do not blink. They are trying as hard as they can to keep their line of sight and their focus on what they're doing here at the track. And when you got these super short tracks and super short speedway, or front straightaway, back straightaway, you're really just banking on those corners to give you a good time to pass.
Absolutely. I mean, think about this. You talk about the blinking and everything. If you just take your mind off of something, somebody comes in and says something to you, if you miss just that point where you need to let off, your entire turn is ruined there. Cars could pass you underneath. It could ruin your tire wear. I mean, I wish that we could see the tire wear on these guys and just see how much that they lose per lap. It's absolutely incredible. You really have to be gentle and very determined on how you're going to drive it. If you're not consistent and you don't know exactly what you're going to do in the upcoming turn, that's just how Tedeschi's getting away. He's got it down. I mean, he is just nailing every single lap.
And this is why, a lot of these guys in real life get to the track a couple days early and in here and, start a couple days beforehand practicing on these tracks, sometimes just running by themselves, trying to get the fastest lap, because they never know if they're going to have any kind of help. As we're seeing right now, the top car. He's just getting all into lap traffic, not really any much help with him.
So true. And we're watching TAC 24 right now. He's doing pretty good. He's got some guys in front of him. We have Dohar in front of him. We also have Sterlu. These guys fighting side by side, and that is going to wear down your tires also. It's incredible how much you have to watch out for. And there's a couple of points where, if it were me, I would just say, go ahead. I'm going to give you the spot for now, because right now, that doesn't matter. I need to save my tires.
Exactly.
You want to race it, you go for it. I'm going to let you wear your tires out. But for me, I need to concentrate on my line, and let's get moving, guys.
I couldn't agree more. It's almost like if you're running a race, there's always those people who sprint, and then as you're jogging, you see them, half a mile later, winded out. You're just trying to save as much as possible when you can and if you can.
Absolutely. We're seeing Tedeschi catch up to Jose in that 24. Very, very close, but look at all these cars. We have 99 of Delta Rocket. This guy has had an extremely tough night tonight. So we're going to watch Tedeschi take the inside. That is the preferred line here. He's going to rocket his way past, but even Jose, who we saw running up in the front of the field, he is now lapped down.
It's amazing, too, how these drivers come out of these turns, and they come centimeters from the wall. You see some drivers who aren't as experienced, they will hit the wall, but there are videos you can see online and other sources where the tire will actually bend as they're going into the turn because they are taking it just so perfectly. It's amazing to see how these drivers can really race these tracks.
Absolutely. Solar Vapor, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys are enjoying the race tonight. Pre-built, Parker MC. You guys are awesome. It is a crazy race. Tedeschi just dominating tonight. I'm assuming these guys are going to hit pit road soon. We have a couple of guys coming off, but our leader has stayed out. We did have a caution earlier, so they might be able to hold on to it, but I'm thinking we're going to see a caution as we see 22 catch up to the 9 of String. He goes down underneath, but Tedeschi, he is just putting so many cars down a lap that every caution, these guys really, really need it so they can get those laps back.
Like I said earlier, it's not the kind of track that you can say, hey, buddy, I'm going to let you go and catch your draft. As soon as he's gone, he's pretty much gone in that 22 car. You're not going to have any time to catch up with him at all. So it's smart for cars like the number 9 to just slide up and save what they got and let the 22 by, because he's got it this race.
Absolutely. We have Tom Tom, who is trying to make his way around Delta Rocket. Delta, he took the inside line, so Tom Tom had to go. But we are 15 to go, guys, for stage 2. I mean, it is just absolutely flying by tonight, Atlanta. I can't believe how fast it's going.
It really is. It's crazy. It's as much fun as these NASCAR races are and announcing and everything. I look up at the clock above my TV and I'm like, oh man, it's 10 o'clock, So it's awesome to see these guys, actually take it seriously. I feel like sometimes on the esports circuit getting in here, you don't have some people take it as seriously, but these guys are bound and determined to win this race, and that's what really brings out the best kind of racing here on NASCAR Heat 4.
Absolutely. I mean, we have some of these guys that are in the Esports Pro League for 704. We have Dohar, we have Tedeschi, we have the Bolt, we have our very own J-Mac, who is usually in the booth. He is out on track tonight, so we have a lot of Pro Leaguers. These guys are really amazing guys. They are amazing drivers, and it just shows on track. So really fun to watch, but we are on board right now with TAC 24. Every time we see him, he is in a ton of traffic. I mean, this is where most of the guys are. Tedeschi, he's out front. We had Tom Tom in second, who we've seen most of the night. TAC, same with him. He is currently, I do believe, in third, but he's running pretty strong.
Oh, 00 Pro Boss taking it down pit lane. If I recall correctly, let me see, Skibowski has quit the race in the 43 car.
Yeah, we have 10
He is
to
down
go.
in pit lane.
And we do have a couple of guys that have quit, taken it to the garage, called it enough for tonight. Skibowski is one of them, and a couple other guys, I do believe. But Atlanta, I'm impressed with Delta hanging out there. I'm not sure that a lot of drivers are going to be too happy with him tonight, but he's hanging in there so far.
Yeah, you do have to wonder with all that damage and as many wrecks as he's been in, if he's trying to still race this race or maybe mess with some of the other drivers and mess with their point standings.
Yeah, I mean, everything counts, and Tedeschi, he already has such a huge lead. I think Martinsville is really going to mix things up. Drivers that normally come in the top 2 to 5 in position for a race, they may not be able to do that tonight, and that might hurt them just a little bit in the point standings. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at those once again. You can see how big of a points lead Tedeschi has. We have Dohar in second. Man, it just really varies with these guys. We have Jose in third, the Bolt in fourth, Proboss in fifth, and you guys see the points right there.
That's one thing I've always thought was really cool about the Bolt is he never ever gives up. I've seen him in 9th, 10th place work his way back up to the front. And he is determined to do something. He's going to do it.
Absolutely. Tedeschi giving, we have J-Mac a little bit of a bump there, saying, hey, I'm here. I'm moving you out the way and I'm on my way. And I heard over the radio, J-Mac, making a little noise like, oh, giving me a little bit of a ride there, but very close contact there.
Sometimes you just got to let them know. Goes back into the focus aspect we were talking about. I mean, if you were driving and you have something in your mind you're trying to do, I mean, looking in the rear view mirror might not be exactly what you're thinking about at the minute. So seeing that car come by trying to lap you, just need to let them on by.
Yeah, we see Tedeschi going by, rams it. Rams it, goes to the inside wall.
Yep.
J-Mac is able to
Saw
get on
that
by,
contact.
but man, that was close. We have a guy into the wall. Is that Bolt? I don't know if you saw that, but
Is
that
it?
looked like Bolt. Maybe you can check
Let's
it out
see.
for me.
Look back. Yep, I'm looking right now, trying to see where the Bolt is.
A lot of traffic, though.
It looks like it could have been him. He definitely has some damage to the front of his car. He's just now coming around turn 4. I see 00 Pro Boss is in front of him as they make their way across the start finish. So he very well likely was in the altercation. Just couldn't get my camera back to him in time.
1 to go after Tedeschi hit that line, so we'll see if he is able to take stage 2, but man, I'm hearing we have a couple of guys possibly out of fuel. We have Tedeschi coming up on Jose right there, but here we go, crossing the line. That is the finish of the stage. Tedeschi takes stage 2. Great job to him. This guy is just on a roll tonight. Fantastic racing. You guys gotta love this. Let me know who you're rooting for.
Yeah, there's nothing better than racing like this. Seeing these guys just trying to get past, and then fall right back. I mean, it's like watching a football team. You don't want the score to be 24-0. You want it to be 24-23. You want it to be close, and that's how these drivers are.
Sterlu ended up second and TomTom third. We saw TomTom. He was out there in second place for a while, but Sterlu took over the second spot. TomTom ends up in third. Nice stage points for him. TomTom. I don't know if the booth was good luck for him, but man, he is working it tonight on track.
Yeah, I mean, like Zane was saying earlier, it's good for the drivers to balance the sportsmanship and the showmanship. You know, you wanna be a good driver on the track, but you don't want to let them know that you're just going to let them by. But you also don't want to be a mean person, in the pits and have everybody not liking you.
Absolutely. And here we go for the final stage of the race. We're going to have Tedeschi leading us off of the green. Here we go. 34 on the high side, and that is going to be Sterlu once again. Tedeschi, though, already moving out front, putting a little bit of a gap between him and second place. We have a battle for second place as these guys are going side by side. That is none other than TomTom Flitty and Sterlu, but Sterlu takes over second.
Yep, 22-34 in the top 2 positions. They are in a single file line on the outside. They were a lot more bunched up, looking like some pack racing earlier. That's what I honestly like at these short tracks is when they get packed up, because you just know that they are running, especially on the outside, just trying to get that win. The single file
Absolutely.
line is how you're going to save the most fuel and save the most tire. So that is the smartest move for a lot of these drivers.
You can just see we are on board with Tom Tom. He gives a little bit of a hit to that outside wall, but mostly before that, he was hugging that inside line, doing an amazing job. I mean, you gotta love that line right there. But you can see him currently in third with Sturlew in that 34 ahead of him. Like I said earlier, Sturlew, when I talked to him, he had a very, very fast lap along with Tedeschi. So this is his time to shine. Can he hold on to it? Or will Tom Tom take over second?
Yeah, it looks like the 34 is doing a good job of keeping up with the 22. Tedeschi's not having as much of an advantage getting ahead of the cars behind him. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get up there, because Tedeschi has pretty much not been passed all race. Once he's gotten in
Absolutely.
first, he's got there.
He's one that you do not want him to get out in first. Like Atlanta said here, if he does, he's gone. So you have to make sure that he doesn't get out there. No one has been able to do that yet. So this final part of the race, we are in the final stage here. So if anyone can get him out front and kind of protect it, as we hit 110 to go, so we still got a lot of racing left. We're on board with TAC 24, who looks like he is in about 6th place. You can see the line he's riding a little bit higher than that bottom groove. That's going to save him some tires, but is not going to help him out time-wise.
Yeah, I'm still looking on board Tedeschi right now. I think he's coming up on a lapped car, but the 34 is not giving up. He is pretty much the same distance behind him. And looks like the 3rd place car, it's Tom Tom, the 8. He's doing a good job keeping up with the 2nd place, trying to get up there to the leader.
Absolutely. Morningstar says, my arms hurt from watching this. I'll tell you
I
what.
just saw that. I was like,
When you're on a wheel and you have the force feedback up, I'm telling you what, it is a workout in this game. You gotta get those settings right, and once you got that right, I turned up my force feedback a little bit, and it is a workout. The bumps and the grooves on the track, you really feel all of it. And after a long race like this, it is a workout. I don't know if I'm a wimp or what, but man, I'll tell you what, it is a workout.
It's a workout.
Yeah, for those on controller, I really feel for you. I don't know how you do it at a track like this, because it's got to be brutal.
see, I do run controller, but the car I have has a lane assist, and I drove the lane assist down to Savannah, Georgia, and it's kind of got the feel to it where it's jerking back and forth. By the time I was down there, my arms were killing me.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's crazy. You can see what a gap that Tedeschi has once again put on the field. If this guy does not win tonight, there's one of two things happened to him. He wrecked himself or he got wrecked. There's no way. I don't want to jinx him, so I'm going to knock on some wood. There's no way that this guy is not going to finish first tonight unless something crazy happens. I mean, he's just got the dominant car, the car to beat tonight.
Yep, and talking about, if somebody wrecks them out, that is a big worry with these drivers. When they start getting into the lap traffic, it does get bunched up. You don't want to cause an accident on purpose just trying to get by a little too fast. That is one of the risks when they're trying to shove these cars up the track. If they hit it on the wrong position, it can send them both into the wall or both out of the race.
Absolutely. And one of the things about this, too, is if you push your car like these two right behind Tedeschi, we have Sturlew, and we're looking at Tom Tom right now. If they push their car too much trying to catch Tedeschi, they could absolutely destroy their tires and make a mistake where, like Atlanta said, you hit the wall or you hit each other, and it is just going to destroy your car. You have to really just concentrate on that line and focus on what you need to do. Consistency is what needs to happen tonight. Tedeschi, they may not be able to catch him, and that's okay. They may not be able to get the win tonight, but you got to get those positions because every point matters. Every stage point matters.
Yep.
So what they need to do tonight is just worry about their own race. Put Tedeschi out of their mind and just race their own race.
Exactly. You don't want to be thinking a couple weeks from now, why didn't I try harder at Martinsville to get those points? just because you were down. Tedeschi was in the lead for a long time, you got to give the points where they're deserved. Tedeschi's in the lead, but you could still earn your way up to the top.
Absolutely. With 99 laps left to go, anything is possible here, but it is very much a mental game. This game is something that everyone has had to get used to. Tire wear is a huge thing, but it's also mental also. I mean, you have to worry about so many different aspects of the game. When to pit, what to take, how many tires, how much fuel to take, what line am I driving, am I saving enough tire, am I saving enough fuel, who's around me. It's just so many different facets to worry about, and so it's very interesting to see who can succeed in it and who it kind of takes over.
Yeah, it is crazy, and I'm on board right now with the 22 of Tedeschi, and you could almost sync the sounds of his engine, how perfectly they are when he goes into a turn, lets off, and goes right back on the gas. It is almost the exact same every time when you're listening to it, and that's probably played into the fact why he's in first place a lot of today's race, especially here in the final stage.
Absolutely. You see Tedeschi trying to make his way past another lap car. That is Doc 88 that he just passed. But you heard it from Atlanta. You got to keep consistency, and the way Tedeschi is just hugging that bottom line, he just has nailed this track, doing a great job. I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone following in chat. Thank you so much. Scorenzi, White Harp, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this race. I mean, it is a heck of a battle. We have Tedeschi, who is just dominating, taking over the lead here. But we have seen a couple other leaders. We've seen Dohar out front. So he has seen his way out there. But unless something crazy happens, man, Tedeschi might have gotten a little loose there. A little bit of a handling might be an issue. Yeah, but he is holding on to it pretty well.
At least these drivers aren't having to worry about the weather too much here at Martinsville. That's one thing I do like about living close to Atlanta is I get that night race. When the sun goes down, you're good to go.
Absolutely. Riding on board with Tom Flitty in that 8. He was in the booth tonight for our driver spotlight. You can see that Bass Pro Shop, the front end of that, a little scrunched up. I'm not sure if it's going to affect him too much. I mean, it can take a little bit of damage, but he really has to watch that. Even if you hit the rear end of somebody else, it can affect your car, absolutely. So that's one thing these guys are really going to have to watch out for. But he has taken that high line, struggling to bring it down low as Bolt scoops up underneath and passes him.
Yeah, over the past couple of years, it's insane how high tech these cars have gotten. But part of the downfall to that is the cars are a lot more delicate. But back in the day, bumping wasn't going to do too much to your car, but now it can tear off your front bumper.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, you have to watch out for so much, but we have Tom. He's looking so good out there. Bolt passed him up. We saw a little trouble incident with the Bolt earlier as he hit the wall. I'm not even sure if he is a lap down or if he is on the current lap. Maybe we can find that out from our producers in the background, but it looks like he's trying to make his way out through there. Bolt is not on the lead lap. He is a lap down, so all he can do tonight is hope to get on the lead lap, and he is, from what I'm hearing, officially multiple laps down, so not a good night for him tonight.
No, never good to be multiple laps down in a race. It's very demoralizing, but sometimes with these tracks you get involved with a couple cars and your car can be torn up at the beginning of the race and you just have no control at all over what happens.
Absolutely. We're gonna go back in the field. We saw Sterlu. He was up front. He has since fallen back to around 3rd or 4th, but still looking pretty good out there in that 34 car. Let's take a look at the 24 of Jose. He's in looking pretty good. He's got the 20 car directly in front of him of Rocky Top, but he has had a pretty good race. We've seen him out front. Let's see if we can catch him back up to the front throughout the remainder of this race. But so far, just holding it steady.
Yep, I'm watching Tedeschi right now. He just got around another lap car. It's almost like he has 30, 40 extra miles per hour in his car, the way he takes off on these turns. I mean, he is leaving him in the dust, and you can just visibly see the distance go from Tedeschi to the second place get longer and longer. And he has really got something with that car, I hear, in Martinsville.
I don't know what he has under that hood. I don't know if he needs to be called to the NASCAR hauler. But, man,
yeah,
oh, man,
exactly.
It is incredible as he is making his way quickly around Jose. They're side by side now, and we just saw Jose, so I don't know if he was lapped down before, but he certainly is now as we have crossed the line once again.
This has almost just become the 22 of Tedeschi's race. I mean, he almost has no competition at all.
It's pretty insane. I would say him and Tom and Sterlu, those three guys are doing really well tonight, but we have a lot of guys that are multiple laps down tonight. Pretty crazy to see, and man, oh man, the car in front of Tedeschi just cracked the wall. I do believe that is the 20 of Rocky Top, but he'll be catching up to these guys soon enough.
Yeah, 22 of Tedeschi, he's already gotten to the point where you can't even see the cars behind him, except right when he's going into the turn. I don't know how he does it so fast. He's coming up now, lap car. It's like it's the 36. Can't quite tell. I'm trying to look on the back of that car. But man,
Yeah.
he has got it. Tom and the guys behind him, they're still working it. They're still trying to get there and not give up before the end of this race.
Absolutely. And we only have 5 guys on the lead lap. That's how insane this racing is. Only 5 guys. We saw Tedeschi earlier. He lapped the 8th place car. Now we're down to 5. So absolutely incredible. And these guys are not too far terribly behind him. But if it goes green this whole way, I would not be surprised if he may lap the entire field. And that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, we saw him getting up close. I think last stage he was getting around 8th and 7th place. And talking about the drivers, they're trying to catch up with him. He's in the rear view mirror. It's crazy to see a car just going that much faster than his counterparts.
Coffin says Tedeschi, he's going to fail post-race inspection. Yeah, the guy's got something under his hood. When I was talking to these guys earlier, I was, saying, what lap time are you guys driving? And, I saw what most were driving, and all of a sudden Tedeschi comes in and Sterlu comes in. They're like, you know what? I'm driving about 3/10 faster than that. I'm like, what do you guys have under the hood? You got some NOS? And they just start laughing. They're just like, we're just that fast. So they weren't lying. They were not lying.
Nah, and it really goes into the setup, the driver itself, and just really knowing this game. I had a friend, he got this game, and he texted me, he said he couldn't even beat the AIs on easy. And I was like, man, you got to learn the game. You got to learn the draft. He didn't understand about drafting and stuff. I was like, man, it's you got to do it. He's used to F1 games. But that was a tangent. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's crazy, though, yeah. Tedeschi is half a track ahead of second place. And we just saw Tom, who is in second place, got a little loose coming off of the exit. And this is where the tire wear is coming into issue, as they are what looks like 4 across directly in front of him. Take a look at this, guys. We have the Bolt and 3 other guys that were 4 wide. Looks like a guy got a little loose and was able to save it, but man, he lost a lot of timing on that. We have the Bolt going 2 wide, and Bolt goes into the wall. That is the second time tonight that we've seen him into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little contact with another car, but he's okay. Just clipped the Bolt. I don't think that's going to bring out a caution. That is a single car wreck.
That is crazy. And we're looking at TAC 24 right now, who got a little bit of a nudge from Sterlu. Almost got put in the wall, but man, he's like, I'm on the move. Moved him straight out of the way. That was incredible. That was Turner, actually, I do believe. We've seen a couple of elbows out with him tonight. That's crazy stuff right there.
You have 22 leader of Tedeschi has gone down pit road right now. He doesn't have too much to worry about, given these cars are lapped, other than those top 4 behind him, I believe.
Yeah, we have Tom who has since entered pit road, so we have our top guys out on pit road. That leaves, I do believe, TAC 24. He might be our new leader here, but as the pit road cycles through, unless Tedeschi did something incredibly wrong going through pit road, he should come out as your leader once it all cycles through. Bolt can't catch a break.
It must be nice for a driver to have that feeling. Yeah, I just read that too. He really can't.
No, he is not having a great night. Scarinzi, I saw what you wrote in there, so I haven't responded yet, but I would love to tune in there, so you just let me know the channel if it is on there. I will be happy to tune in. But Paul, you said it. Bolt can't catch a break. I hope it comes in and that he can. But we have Tom still in pit road. A couple of guys behind him going into pit road. Tedeschi is back out on track, and he is on his way running these guys back down.
Yep, and he's got him right next to him, the number 9. He's just going to pass him on the outside. Number 9's going to take it low. Yep, he's going into pit lane.
I mean, you know, for this, you're losing about a second when you're on old tires like that, so Tedeschi can really just fly past these guys. Once that tire wear hits, like I said, you're going to lose about a second, possibly more. Tedeschi, I know he could save it. I know he could save it a little bit more and maybe not lose so much, but it is really incredible how he is able to pass these guys. You can just see him. Great job by him tonight.
Yep, car is coming out of pit lane. Looking out for Tedeschi. Another car entering pit lane. Who was that? Number 4? Going to check.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys going through.
It's somebody.
We have 2 and rams it into pit road. A lot of these guys going out. We see Jose 720. He is out on track. Looks like he might be in about 5th place. Tom Flitty in that 8. He is back out on track. He is taking over 2nd place. We have the Bolt behind him, who has had just a disastrous night considering how great of a driver is. This is definitely not his night tonight. That car is completely mangled up. Hopefully he can do something and catch up a couple of laps, but he is multiple laps down.
Yeah, I'm sure some of these drivers right now are really wanting a caution. That could really help some of them. Especially the Bolt, if he could head down pit lane, get some of that stuff repaired, he could possibly make his way closer to the top of the pack if there was a restart.
Absolutely. You can see Tedeschi catching up to Bolt right now, and he runs into the back of Blue Baca in that 3 car. Man, tough on that, but Tedeschi was able to get on by. He's going to make his way past the Bolt at this point as he kisses the wall just a little bit coming off the turn.
Yep. Yeah, it was the must have been the number 3 that went to pits earlier. I couldn't tell. I saw the graphic of the car. The pit lane wall was blocking the number.
Of course.
Yep. Here comes Tedeschi up on the 18. Sorry to interrupt you again.
No, you're good. We saw J-Mac going in pit road to take a pit stop. Tedeschi kind of diving it down. I don't know if he was going a little loose off the turn, but like Atlanta said, he is catching up to the Bolt. Guys, we had 21 plus cars out here tonight, so that is a ton of cars to maneuver around from Martinsville. And I'll tell you what, I am extremely impressed with these drivers. They're doing a great job out there tonight, no matter where they are. A couple of these guys, I'm impressed that they're staying out there and hanging on to it. I know their emotions might be high with a couple of bumping and banging going on, but great race overall.
It really has been a great race. I mean, you want to see some guys up there with Tedeschi, but other than that, I mean, there have been not that many cautions. And most of these drivers have, I feel like, dialed in their lines and just trying to run as best as they can because they know the 22's ahead of them.
Yeah. Here he goes past the 18, and look who's
Yep.
ahead of him. We have Tom Tom. If he passes Tom Tom, he has put the entire field a lap down Atlanta. That is just absolutely incredible.
That's a definite ego boost for a driver.
From my understanding, Tom Tom is third, so he's going to have to go another car past that. But from my screen, my camera's showing that he's in second. But either way, he's going to put almost the entire field a lap down. And man, we have Solar saying, block him, Tom Tom. Don't let him put everyone a lap down. But Tedeschi is unstoppable.
He really is. That 22 car has done some stuff here today I've never seen in a NASCAR race. In Heat 4 or in real life. I've just never seen a car just be able to maneuver through the field so cleanly and flawlessly, it seems.
Absolutely. We're on board with Tom Tom looking backwards, and he just has the 22 flying up behind him. He's not going to... I don't know that he's going to block him. You know, you can block him, but if I were Tom Tom, I might do a little blocking. I'll admit it, I might do a little bit, but you don't want to cause a wreck. You really don't. It's not going to help you out.
Exactly.
Tedeschi's still going to get by you, so don't block it too much. But Sturlu, he is actually the one in second place, and you can see Tedeschi, he is still back there. Got a little bit ways to go, so he will be passing Tom Tom first. And already Tedeschi is going underneath him. And there's only 2 cars on the lead lap. That is Tedeschi and Sturlu.
Wow. Very rare for this to happen in a NASCAR race.
It's incredible. The guy has a ton of speed. He has brought so much speed to every single race. I mean, it just shows what talent he has and what a car that he brings. But we are under 50 to go for the final part of this race. So we'll see what they can do. But man, oh man, the first pit cycle really just threw and changed things quite a bit. And we have Tedeschi just, he's on the move. Solar says, we tried.
Whoa.
What do you see, Atlanta?
He cut that corner 22 cut the corner just a little bit too much, and he almost wrecked out, but he was able to recover.
Oh,
That was a
geez.
close one.
We've seen a lot of close calls here tonight and a lot of great saves and some unlucky drivers who were not able to do it. But I'll tell you what, I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, we're going to see a lot of slippery conditions. Once that tire wear comes in, coming off of the turns can be disastrous. You really have to make sure, be gentle on the gas. Pump it if you need to make sure that those tires are able to grip it. A lot of these drivers are going to run a little bit tighter than what they normally want to. And that is so that they have more grip in the final part of the run. And I can tell you that I can put up, if I run my wedge at 49, we'll say, for a track. If I want a long run car because it gets loose in the final parts of the race, I'm going to run it at 49.4. Give me more grip at the end of the race, because that is what's going to help you hold the tires and hold that time.
Yep, and that's the point when all the drivers start to get a little antsy for that win or that point position or whatever they're looking for. As we saw at stage 1, that big wreck, the last lap, JR and Dohar got spun out. Never want to see that for a driver.
Absolutely. Atlanta, we're on board with Sturlu, and he's got a big, bright yellow and red car directly behind him. And you guys know who it is. We've talked about him all night. It is Tedeschi, and here he comes. He had a little bit of a nudge from Lubaka. That made him a little bit loose coming off of that turn we saw earlier. But Tedeschi is on the move, and here he comes catching up to Sturlu, our second place. Once he has passed him, he has passed the entire field. And from my understanding, Atlanta, Tedeschi does have front and rear end damage from passing
Oh, wow.
all these cars. So
Huh.
I don't see any
Wow.
damage on my end, so
I
that
don't
must
either.
be. Yeah, he's got a perfectly good car out there, but apparently he does have damage on the front and rear of the car.
That could explain why, when I was looking back earlier, he did get a little loose on that turn. It looks like
Yeah.
he is taking the turns a little bit more cautiously now. He's not trying to spin out his car. He definitely didn't go as low that time.
Right, he is not able to hold on to that bottom as well as he was before, so he is running a little bit higher. You can see the car swing just a little bit as he enters the straightaway there, but he is really handling it well.
Especially
We'll
for
see.
damage we had no
yeah,
idea.
caution
he
came
had.
out.
Yep.
That is gonna help
Some of these
a
drivers
lot
just
of
had
people.
a prayer answered.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to get their lap back. Some of them are not too excited about that. Tedeschi is going to be one of them, but we'll see who gets their lap back, and that catches the field back up together. It's going to be a heck of a battle to the end of the race here.
This is what I look forward to. As much as I want Tedeschi to win, and he has deserved it today at Martinsville, I want to see him bunch back up and really battle it out these last, 40 laps they have, and see what they really have in the Monster Energy Series.
Absolutely. That 22 car is unstoppable today, so we'll see if he can hold on to it. But we have the 34 car out front. He is going to lead us off of the green once again. That is Sturlu, and we saw him putting out quite the battle. Unfortunately, the entire field got lapped directly before the caution came up. But Sturlu has a little bit of contact with the 22, makes it out front. He's
Yep.
going to be your new leader.
You look, though, looking on his
Huge
tail.
pileup going on here. Four
Yep,
car.
I can see that.
Yeah. Everyone has completely lost their minds as I'm hearing over the radio. You see cars flipping. That's going to bring out the caution. That is incredible right there.
Wow. That was very close cautions for not having that many cautions this race. That's
We're going to bring out the replay on that one because that was pretty nutty. Not going to lie. That was pretty crazy. We had
Yeah, that
four
is
wide at one
insane.
point, cars flipping. Solar says, Sturlu to the lead, baby. We'll see what happens. We had 3 or 4 cars on the lead lap after that, but man, that was crazy.
Yep, 34 car is going to be in the first place position, 22 right behind him as soon as we get away from this caution.
Paul says, pile up an I-75, and I'll tell you what, I live off a 75, and it is not pretty out there.
That's crazy that we all live probably in different states, but we all are on I-75.
I know, right? We have
I
Tedeschi
think
and
that goes all the way up to
34.
Ohio.
Drive inside. I am from Ohio, but Tedeschi and Sturlu going side by side, and Sturlu was able to hold on to it. Tedeschi giving him quite a bump going in. 3 wide as we had Tedeschi going through to the lead. We had Tom directly behind him and Sturlu on the outside. Man, these guys are out for blood right now as Sturlu is just trying to make his way by.
Wow.
8 puts him into the wall a little bit. Atlanta, these guys have lost their mind.
They have lost their minds. 22 is stuck on the outside. 34, 8, and 9 have gotten past him. 18 is just on the bumper. It's going to be interesting to see if oh, look at Tedeschi. He's trying to cut on the inside like these are lapped cars again.
These guys they mean business right now. I'm trying to make our way back up through there. I'll tell you what, this camera does not want me to, but we've got our eye on Tedeschi, and he's going to have to do some defending and catch
big
up to
wreck,
these guys.
Turn 4.
Oh. That might bring out the caution. There we go. That's going to put J-Mac and a couple others back on the lead lap here. Couple of guys getting destroyed by Sturlu from what I'm hearing. That's going to be some crazy stuff coming back to the green here.
It really is, and you know that these drivers now with a third caution, with hardly any cautions, like I said, they must have their blood boiling right now, just wanting to get this race either over or get into a position where they're not having to worry as much.
Yeah. We have White Harp saying Tom sniffing that lead. Man, he is not only sniffing it, he is living it, and he is wanting to keep it once we go back to green. But I'll tell you what, yeah, everyone elbows out. They are wanting to get this lead and hang on to it. We have Tom on the inside going to lead us off. We have Tedeschi on the outside, and we have Sterlu behind Tedeschi. Here we go, green once again. These guys are going to go side by side, bumping and banging through the turns. Tom is able to hold on to the lead. Tedeschi in second. These guys are going to go 2 and 3 wide. I guarantee it. We've seen it. Tedeschi trying to stick a nose underneath. They're going 2 wide for the lead. Here we go down the backstretch here. Absolutely incredible. Look at these guys.
It's insane. Is there already another caution out? There's already another caution.
Atlanta, we've come to the part of the race where cautions are breeding cautions. I'm going to say it, but you hate to see
Central.
it.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these guys are wanting to see this because it allows them to get a lap back. But as a viewer, we don't want to see it too much. But man, these restarts are absolutely incredible for the racing. But let's get it moving on, guys.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to, let your blood boil too much before the end of the race. Save that up for the last couple of laps and really take it out. You don't want to take out the field just trying to do something that could be accomplished just 10 laps down the road.
Absolutely. We haven't heard from J-Mac all night, and now that we're going back to green, I'll leave him be. I'll ask him if there is another caution. But he's got his hands full. I know that he is back on the lead lap now, so it's going to be pretty tight for these guys. We have Tedeschi. He is on the low side. We have Tom on that high side. 8 cars on the lead lap now, guys. Oh, look at this behind them.
Oh, there it is. Yep. It looks... Wow.
34
there
went
it is.
3 wide.
Turn 3.
Man. That is going to bring out
For a
yet
second,
another caution.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of those drivers who were involved recovered, and then something happened. The driver turned into turn 3 wrong, and that's where it all went downhill.
If we can get a copy from J-Mac, what is going on out there, and how you doing?
This race just got real stupid.
Explains it all.
I don't know. Now it's just survival. Everyone's kind of running over each other. I've been the only one who's been trying to be conservative with the person in front of me, so that's probably going to get me killed here, I imagine. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I don't know.
You heard it from a frazzled J-Mac. I wish you luck going on to the last parts and get back out there. These guys are going crazy. We have once again Tedeschi leading off. We have Tom on the outside. You know there's going to be bumping and banging. We've seen it here so far on the restarts. Tedeschi, it's happened. He has gotten back out in the lead, and that is going to mean trouble for the guys behind him. The 31, it looks like he is just pushing into Tom. That's stacking up the field, and I'm seeing lag. I don't know if you saw that, Atlanta, but man, yeah. This is the part where the cautions come out, the lag comes to visit, and that's what you don't want to see.
I'm being silent, but I'm just watching this race. I'm so interested to see what's happening. I'm looking back on Tedeschi at the cars behind him. It's crazy the time he's putting on these cars, but it seems like he might not have as much tires as he thought he would, or as he thought. I'm sorry. He has clipped the corner a couple of times as I've been watching him, and it seems like he's kind of getting out of the routine.
Man, there is just so much movement going on and so much lag. We're watching the 34 of Sterlu, and he gets into the 20 car. We have 10 laps to go, guys, and what did you see about Tedeschi?
The lag, Frozen, it was big time.
Yeah.
His whole car almost looked like it was sideways for a second.
I am seeing a ton of it out here as we just have a few laps to go. I believe that was 9 right there. But man, oh man, that is scary stuff out there. These guys have to be extremely cautious moving forward. And that is really hard to do at a place like Martinsville. It is very crowded, but man, that's tricky.
Yeah, it's not somewhere you can just break away and try to get around the car if you're experiencing any kind of lag or something. It's just inevitable. Sometimes you're going to get hit.
It's true. It is true. Solar says we need the 22 out of the race and fail post-race. I'll tell you what, this guy, as much as you think there is something going on with his car and he might need to go to the NASCAR hauler, I'm telling you what, he brings a fantastic car to the track every single time. And you can't help but root for him because he really is a great guy. So I'm happy to see him out here, but the only time you guys are going to see him around anyone else is if he is passing a car to put them a lap down, or if you see him at the restart. He is just checked out once again.
That's incredible.
5 to go at the line. Martinsville Speed Race, night race tonight, and this is the guy to beat. We've said it all night. If he doesn't win, something crazy happened, Atlanta.
Yep, exactly. But I've seen it happen. I've called a race before and thought there's no way this guy is not going to win, and was involved into a wreck, and he did not win.
I mean,
So,
we
you
saw
never
in
know.
stage 1. Who was in the lead in stage 1 and got wrecked? I think that was Dohar, wasn't it?
Yep, that was JRM Dohar. Yep.
Yeah.
Stage 1, last lap.
Last lap coming around the final turn, and he had an incident with the driver. Should have won stage 1, but yeah. We have 3 to go for Tedeschi, though. Let's bring this guy home. Let's see if we have anybody in front of him, and we do see a car and a caution, guys. We have another caution. Man, what an incredible night. Up to stage 3, there wasn't any cautions, maybe one, but this final stage and the final parts of the race, these guys, cautions are breeding cautions, and these guys are just, the concentration has gone out the door, and the patience has gone out the door. We're headed into overtime.
Yep. Monster Morningstar, he said in your chat, that dang Dahlonega internet, boy. Dahlonega is a town in Georgia that's very north, and you probably would not have good internet there.
Oh, man. Here we go. Once again, this is overtime here. Tedeschi is on the inside. We have Sterlu once again on the outside. Let's bring it home, guys. It's going to be a fight to the finish. We have Sterlu with a fantastic lead out there. Tedeschi taking it easy. Sterlu falls back. He's getting swallowed up by the cars as we're going 3 wide. Gets put into the wall just a little bit. Tedeschi is going to be the lead car. Can he hold on to it?
Yeah, they're really packed up right now. They are not wanting to give away any position. Almost 3 wide out of that turn. You can see almost 4 with the 18.
This is crazy. The final turn, if Tedeschi can hold on to it. He's going to be your winner here tonight at Martinsville Speedway under the lights. And here we go. Tedeschi. Absolutely incredible. Here we go. Great job to him. He has won the race tonight. He took it home, guys. He did a great job.
Yeah, that 22 car at the beginning of the race, we really noticed him, standing out, and that's what he's done the rest of the race, leading almost every stage. Tedeschi definitely earned this win today here at Martinsville Speedway.
He sure did. Let's take a look. Hopefully we can get a count on who got second and third. We'll get them in the booth tonight. Atlanta, I don't know if you want to give second place an interview, but that would be amazing.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Awesome. We have Tedeschi, Rocky Top, and Tom Tom. That is going to be your top 3 here tonight at Martinsville. A great race. You guys had to love this race. These guys are amazing.
There's nothing better than watching these guys race. I mean, I was watching the AKA League before I had anything to do with it, and I just love seeing the sportsmanship and just seeing how, like I said earlier, serious they take it, because there's nothing better than watching people take a sport like NASCAR serious and really just give you the best show.
Absolutely. We're going to get Rocky Top in here, and we'll get Tom Tom. Do I have a copy from J-Mac, though? We saw him. He was our pit road reporter. But tell me about your race tonight.
It was eventful.
Ooh, what a race.
Started.
That was
Yeah,
wild.
started with the. Didn't do very well in qualifying because I was in race trim for it, so that was fun. And then I don't know, it was just about making laps and trying to play the strategy. And we got, I think, 4th in that first stage or 3rd or something like that, which was kind of nice. And then from there, it all kind of went to hell, and the strategy went to hell. And then at the end, everyone just lost their damn minds. And that I was 3 laps down, and then 5 minutes later I was on the lead lap again. So that was crazy, and I don't know. I just didn't want to run over anybody. I tried to race everybody clean. Everybody out there is racing for points except for me. So I just wanted to not do whatever I wanted to do what I could to not run over anybody or wall anybody, and I hope I was successful in that. But yeah, there at the end, the 31 was in front of me. He ran through everybody, and then the 37, I guess he needed that point really bad, so he just kind of drove through me into the wall. But hey, that's racing at Martinsville, I guess, with a bunch of people with something on the line, and when you're just trying to not run over people and race people clean. So, oh well, it was fun. I think I had a better car than 8th, but oh well, I had fun. It was a very interesting night. So, that was fun. That was educational, getting out of the booth and actually running with these guys. Learned a lot about some of them.
It's so true. It was a crazy race. True. Yeah, a great start to the race. The final stage got crazy, but Tedeschi, this guy is the story of the night. Had the dominant car. I gotta say, congratulations to you on the win tonight. You warned us. You said your car was amazing. You weren't lying. How was your car out there tonight?
Car was really, really good. Our Shell Ford Mustang had a lot of grip on the long run. A lot of people were struggling with forward drive, and that's something we really practiced on this week. So it was just really, really good. You saw that. We were able to put everybody, just about Sterlo, I think, on that last run a lap down. But overall, really happy with our performance. It was a really great day. Tom, Dohar, myself, Sterlo, and J-Mac, we were all in kind of a similar setup package, so it was good to see 3 of us get a top 5 there.
Absolutely. You guys are headed to, I believe it's Atlanta next week. What are your thoughts on Atlanta?
Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's fun. It's another one of those worn-out mile-and-a-half racetracks that really you can't hold it wide open all the time. So it creates a lot of fun, multi-groove racing. I think we'll see a lot of side-by-side, a lot of passing, and just a lot of strategy overall. Like I said, I like the more worn-out racetracks and the short tracks. That's where I feel that I excel the best at. So it'll be really good to go back to Atlanta.
Well, great job to you tonight, Tedeschi. I mean, you had the car to beat. It was great to see you out there. You lapped, I do believe, everyone at one point. So obviously you had a fast one out there. So congratulations. That is going to obviously help you out in the point standings there. You are going to be still first with all those points. But yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys do out there for Atlanta. So great job.
Yeah,
Yep,
congratulations.
thank you very much. Just kind of have a last shout out to Team Penske Esports for all their help. Corey, he kind of gave me a little tips and pointers when it came to this Martinsville setup, and just all the guys, kind of the core group of us on Xbox: Tom, J-Mac, Mordog, Tyler, Kerr, and I think I'm forgetting a couple people, but we're the ones who kind of put a lot of time into this setup and putting a lot of time into Homestead this week. Really excited. This is great momentum moving into the Pro League race on Wednesday, so we feel that we have a really good piece, and we'll put her in the Final Four moving into ISM.
You heard it from Tedeschi right there, guys. Great job by him tonight. Atlanta, let's bring it over to second place for Rocky Top.
Yeah, Rocky Top, you had a great race today. You weren't at the top most of the race. How do you think your car did?
I think I had a top 4 or 5 car, but I was taking it easy throughout the whole race, trying to save the car. The car was real loose after about 20 or 30 laps. So I just took care of it, ended up 3 laps down at one time. And that string of cautions there, I took a couple of waiver rounds, worked my way back on the lead lap. And,
Yeah,
there at the end. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just gonna ask if you thought those restarts at the end and all those cautions helped you at all, or didn't help you?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, with the waiver, the lucky
Oh,
dog
okay. Yeah.
finally
Obviously,
got
you got the
tires,
wave
and
around.
I'm stuck behind all the
Yeah.
lap traffic, and then so I just let off from there, and save the
Yeah.
tires, and let everybody go up there and handle their mess. And then another caution came out, so I took 2 tires, wound up in fourth, and got a good run there on. Uh, I think it was the 37 car. Gave him a little shove, but it was a little rough there at the end. But Tom came in second, or was coming up through second there, making a run at Deshi, and I dove it up under him, and we battled it out to the end. And I came away with second.
Well, you had a great race today. At 22 car, he was out, in front most of
Oh
the
yeah,
time, so
had
there
nothing
wasn't
for
too
him.
much you could do. But great race overall. Appreciate you talking to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Great comeback by Rocky Top for that second place finish. We have Solar out here saying, "Say Tom Tom won in our hearts." Tom Tom, you brought it home. We saw you. We saw you out front all night. He was our driver spotlight tonight. Tell me how your race went, and I feel like you kind of tricked me here because you're saying how you were out of town and you weren't sure, about your car tonight. But man, you had an amazing car and you had a great drive.
Yeah, I definitely got to thank Brian there for a couple tips with getting the setup together because I was lost without it. But I really wish I had a little bit more practice under my belt. I think I would have made it a little bit more interesting. Try to give Brian a little run there at the end. It's always crazy when there's cautions at the end, but I gotta thank Rocky Top for giving me a little bit of a break there and racing me clean because I was kind of scared that I was gonna get shoved out of the way by a bunch of people behind us. They were definitely getting antsy there, but overall it was a pretty fun race and not a bad result here today. And points wise, it was a pretty good day for our number 8 Chevy. So it was a good day overall, and like I said, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, you're one where I feel like you have improved week by week. So it's really cool to see you out there have such a great car. And I'm excited to see what you do for the rest of the season. I mean, this is race 8 out of 12. So not too many more to go. So I'm excited what you can do for the rest of the season. And Rocky Top, I gotta say once again though, I'm impressed by the comeback that you had, bringing it home in second place. So great job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Had a fast start, or past 20 laps. That's about it. Honestly.
All right, guys, that is it here tonight. You saw it here. Martinsville was quite a race. Tedeschi just dominating. Next week, we are headed to Atlanta, so I'm excited to see Atlanta. It was great to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me in the booth. It was a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I'd do it anytime. I appreciate Jay McIntyre giving me the opportunity to taking this race and letting me get up in the booth for once.
Absolutely. Well, we will be here same time, same day. It'll be next Sunday at around 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. They are headed to Atlanta, and if you guys know Atlanta, it is bumpy, it is awesome, but it is one where you're gonna see possibly some guys hugging that bottom line, so take a look out for that. You might see a little bumping out of the way here at Atlanta, so we'll see what happens. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and thank you for the follows and the chats. You guys are awesome. We love ya, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, that was crazy.